Today, we have an amazing guest with us. King David Babalola is a true lover and child of God, a passionate psalmist in every sense of it. Beyond that, he is a talented brand identity designer at Go Learn Online.
Portals have been open to go learn. Financials are rising from go learn. The gospel is spreading from the gates of go learn. Lovers are rising from the house of go learn. Purpose has been restored once again. For go learn to become.
And also serves as the creative director at Evolve Africa. King David has consistently been intentional about his personal and creative growth, and he is deeply committed to creating designs that are not just excellent, but truly meaningful and satisfying.
That's right.
Yes, exactly.
My name is King David Babalola. What else do you want to know about me?
It's really King David. And why did they call you King David? I know David. This was David
No,
Babalola.
no, no. My name is King David.
You were named King David.
Yes.
King David. On your name
Yes.
ceremony, your mom told you that
All
they were
my
giving the
things,
name.
King David idea, my certificate,
Are you
everything.
serious?
Yes, now. Are you just doing this?
I thought yes. Now I thought the king was maybe your friends say is
No.
David in
That's
the
my
Bible is king,
no,
so
that's
they
my
start calling
name.
King David.
My father named me King David.
Wow.
The man is a very prophetic man.
Ah, I'm how do you feel?
I feel prophetic.
And when you knew that David in the Bible was the king, how did you feel? Oh, okay, they named me
It
after.
felt good. I feel like that's the perfect name for me.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I feel like the King David in the Bible.
Yeah. I think I
Eh,
and a little bit of Jesus.
okay, so if someone met you outside of work and design, let's say a day when you're not a creator, who would they meet?
I think you'll meet a faithful person, a faithful personality, nice.
Very
I
nice.
said I'm in a bad mood, sha. Yeah, basically nice. I'm always nice actually,
Oh, yeah, in a bad mood,
and
who would you be?
sometimes annoying. When I'm in a bad mood, I'll be a snob.
I was about to say you can be snobbish.
Yes, I'll be a snob.
That's
But it's rare. I think the only place I snob people is WhatsApp. Not because I'm not nice, but because messages can overwhelm me
overwhelming.
a lot sometimes. And then sometimes I have friend. If that Winifred have access to my WhatsApp now, she's the one that's supposed to be answering my chats. But I'm still
Okay,
considering it.
okay. I mean, I think there should be a way around all of those things.
Yes.
So, how has life been for you lately? Your work, your faith, relationship with people, your friends.
Well, I just try to live a day at a time, right?
Mm,
I don't put in too much. I don't put on too much pressure on myself, and because the tendency to be pressured is a lot.
yeah.
I'm still in my early 20s, so as much as I do say that I don't have time and I want things done, let's just work with me. Let's do. I still know that I actually have time, right? So there's not too much pressure. So I just try to live a day at a time. The problems that I cannot solve, I leave them to God's hands, to their head. But the ones I can handle, I try to. But I think in the past year, I've become more efficient at work.
Mm,
Before I was really struggling with work, balancing work with faith, church, because it's not just about my personal spiritual journey, but also because I'm a leader too in church. So I have to carry church along. I have to consider it the body, community when I'm doing things. So,
yeah.
but
I
yeah, I
love
think recently I've been actually fine,
it.
like all
Fine.
aspects.
Yeah, it's well.
Yes,
It's well.
I eat well.
Is it 101 or 011?
So the thing is, eating a good meal, I probably eat a good meal once a day. But eating snack,
I thought as much.
eating
Junks.
junk. Sometimes I do it. Sometimes because they are saying that I'm already getting too fat, I should not eat too much junk. So what I do is I buy plenty carrots. So carrots will just be in my bag.
Yeah.
I'll be eating carrot like horse. I'll
So
eat
it's
it.
snack on fruit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's healthy.
Yes, but it's not all the time. Like
Not all the time.
you know that time when you drink a maybe you drink a liter of water in a day and you feel like wow, I live the healthy life. So it's like that.
Okay, so at what point did you realize that you were not just talented but actually called to create?
Hmm. Wow.
Mm.
Hmm. Well, for me, I just had to figure it along the way, right? Someone you called multi-talented. I did a lot of things. I can do a lot of things,
Like,
and like
like,
I did a lot of music, me sing, play musical instruments. I did a lot of teaching too,
not like you
right?
teach, like
Yes,
teach in a school.
I teach in church. And I teach, but I once teach in school.
You once thought, oh,
Yes,
right, that's interesting.
I teach. Um, what else did I do? I did a lot of things. I'm interested in
You
fashion.
sing,
Yeah, I mentioned that I sing. I'm interested in fashion. I like going out. What else? What else do? I do? Okay, talent. I design. I take good pictures. Yeah, I take good
yeah, you
pictures.
make good videos.
Yes, I make good videos.
Yeah,
And yeah, I think I speak too. I speak well. So yeah, a combination of all that. I know there are still many that I'm not remembering right now that I
I
can
know,
do.
right?
I think I can draw. I can doodle. I think I have a fine handwriting.
Really?
Yes, I think I do.
I'm not sure I've seen your
Yeah,
handwriting.
I'll show you after the interview.
I was so glad
So
to hear.
yeah, a lot of all that. So, but for me, creating, especially like when we're not talking about design and branding and all that, I think it was just because the first reason why I really really became good at design was because I was desperate to.
You're desperate.
Yes, I just had this desperation to be good at it, to design well, and it was like an opportunity for me to bring the things in my head. I have a lot of imagination in my head to bring it to something people can see. And as I grew, I had more because the thing about learning a skill is that, especially design, is that at first it may be difficult to communicate all the ideas in your head
Yeah.
into what you want to do because you don't have enough skill and you have not mastered enough
Mm,
tools. But as you master the tools, the ideas in your head, the imaginations you have don't look so far fetched
yeah.
anymore. You can just so most of the designs I do, just imagine it and before I was second guess when I was still learning, I was second guess, can I do this? Can I just leave it? But now to eventually if you want to create masterpieces, what comes to your mind? Just create. So that's what I do.
So you do like just do it endlessly,
Yes.
just keep on doing it.
So I think that was when I began to focus and call to create. I don't think I am called to create, right? I don't think my calling is dependent on design. Design is just an expression,
Expression.
right? My call is just remember this Isaiah scripture that always pops my spirit. Um, the spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has
Anointed.
anointed me to bring
You could
help me now.
you could yeah tidings to the
uh
nations.
Then to heal the
Mm-hmm.
brokenhearted. Then
Mm-hmm.
that's my calling,
Yeah.
right? So design is an expression of it. Teaching in
It's an
church is an
expression.
expression of it.
Mm.
Music is an expression of that.
So you don't think that anyone is called like specifically when it comes out and say I've been called to create.
No, people are called to create. I think everybody is called to create,
Yeah.
right?
In different
Yes,
areas.
in different areas because creation is God's gift. It's a God thing.
Mm,
When you are a creative, you are partnering with God to make something happen.
yeah.
Because God was the first creator. In the beginning, God created. So when you are a creative, you are expressing your godness. Permit me to use that word. Yeah, so you're expressing the God factor in you.
In
So
you.
everybody is called to create.
Great. Yeah. So did you always know you would become a creative director as you are now?
No, in fact, the whole creative director thing was a recent development, right? Because I knew that. So the thing is, it's always very important for someone to know when they are done with a particular level,
Face.
yeah, phase, right? And actually, for me, I didn't know that all this while, actually, when I was music director in church growing up, I never knew that I was, garnering the skills to become because I knew that it was more than just me creating. It was more about leadership and
Yeah.
control and direction. helping people also find focus, helping people to also find where they are best fit at, and helping them become the best at what they do too at that aspect. So that what creative direction majorly is. Of course, the other part of creative direction, like the hustle part, I think I do the hustle part because as a creative director, you must have that hustle part. Then I think another thing about creative direction is relationships,
Yeah, the
having
people.
relationships with the right people. So and I think apart from having the relationships I do now, I think I can always build a relationship. I know how to
To build a
build
relationship.
relationships. So I think
And I
that's
think
those are the
that is a skill in itself because the
yes.
persons that when they meet new people, they just uh,
Mm-hmm.
cool off. And some persons use the excuse of, oh, I'm an introvert, so they
Introvert.
don't try to even have interactions with persons. So it's difficult to, start forming a
Yeah.
relationship from there. And then there's a question in my head. I know of persons that are into different skills now, and they would say that they've always had it right from when they were a child, right from when they were children, that
Mm,
this is what they desire to do. Have you always had it in your head, or have you always been attracted to things that has to do with
yes.
design, with art?
Yes. So I remember this design I did, not a design, right? So my mom was cooking in the kitchen at some point. I still had this Asha 200 then.
Ashatunde.
You know Asha to Nokia?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I took a picture of her, and there were all these filters and the phone. So I explored all those things.
Oh,
As at when I
that's
was
true.
primary school,
Those ones that
I
used
was
to have flower,
yes, you
flower.
get it. So as I when I was in primary school, I put my mommy's PowerPoint on a laptop. So I'll put in clip art images. I remember this muscular man that was always holding a small bag like this. So I put all those clip art. So I was always playing around it, but I never knew that to get to a point in my life where that would be major. And if you check my jotter or my any of my journals, you see that I scribble and doodle a lot. So I've always done that. I think Winfred is here. As a teenager, when it's somebody I love's birthday, I'll do like a business card, a birthday card, but to be have to be hand
With your
drawn,
hands.
yeah, hand
Wow.
design. I'll do typography
Wow.
designs and then put balloons and just make nice stuff, right? And it was people always love them. It always made them feel special. And yeah, I think that's where I started design from.
And I also think that everybody should, even before they clock 20,
Mm,
maybe retrospect to the child in them,
mm,
what they've always done as children.
mm.
In that way, I think it's kind of forms a kind of alignment. It brings them kind of alignment to know the things that
Yeah,
they are
that they should be
interested in, that
yeah,
they
they should
should
be
be
doing.
doing. Yes,
Mm,
because things happen and we forget ourselves. We
yeah,
forget, we lose that a part of us, and then we're not trying to, we become confused,
yeah,
trying to now find our path, trying to, figure out a lot of things because we already lost that side of
yeah.
childhood.
Childhood, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like taking decisions as just an adult now because you're an adult now. Meanwhile, you're supposed to reflect on your past
Mm-hmm.
to determine where you are and then
Mm-hmm.
navigate to the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I really agree with you on that.
Yes, I do. Um, there was this. Okay, I think it was last year's edition of BC, Beyond
Convention,
Conversation.
on conversation.
Conversation.
That's with Eric.
Yes, Egugua. There was this session where it was reflective, and then he asked everybody to, both virtual and on site, everybody to pick a book and a pen, quietly reflect on their childhood, reflect
Mm,
on the person you used to be as a child. What
mm,
was that picture you had as a child? That how should I put it now? The desire you had as a child,
mm,
bring it back, reflect on it. What was that picture you constantly had? Maybe you always wanted to be a fashion designer, always wanted to
mm,
be that entrepreneur, wanted to, engage in conversation. So,
mm.
that was a very, very defining moment for me.
Yeah,
That last year, December,
that's really nice. Oh.
it was quite defining. I think I even cried at some point when I was
Wow.
writing. I cried. I still have my journal. I
It
cried
means
because
you lost some things that you wanted to do as a
yes,
child.
yes. And my elders, most people cried because I was
Mm,
seeing reviews of, oh my god, I cried at this point. It was a lot, I think about 30 minutes. Yeah, yeah, allow people to reflect. It was a lot. Persons have forgot, things happen, things happen.
of
In fact,
course,
at
life
some point in your
happens.
life, even
parents, they don't a lot of them don't pay attention. Or maybe at some point today too they might have forgotten
Even
that
they
this
have
was,
forgotten their own.
so it's now hard to help the child to come back to this was whom you've always wanted to be. This was the
Yeah,
person you were as a child. So I think this is where you would still this is the path that you can tread to become this person. So yeah,
this is a cue to you.
yes.
Reminisce for your childhood.
Reminisce is very
Reminisce.
important. Very important. So in your opinion, is creativity a gift or a skill?
Oof. I like this question.
Yeah.
Is creativity a gift or a
Or a
skill?
skill?
Creativity is a gift everybody has. The ability to be creative.
Who gave us?
God.
Yeah.
God gave us the ability to be creative. It's God's nature in us. That is why even when Adam and Eve fell, they were creative enough to think that fig trees can cover them.
Mm,
Yes, even though he didn't cover them well, and God had
well,
to create, clothes from.
but
But it
to an
was,
extent.
yeah, it's an instinct for you to be creative. It's an instinct for you to be able to adapt, right? And most times, the reason why people innovate and create is because they need to adapt to certain conditions, or they need to survive certain conditions. That's why they say necessity is the mother of invention. I think that's a quote or something. Say necessity is the mother of invention. So when there's a need for something, when something seems like a problem, people invent, people create. So creativity is an innate gift. But now bringing that creativity to its best form, or bringing it out enough for it to be tangible or seen by people, that is a skill. Because you now have to learn what form of expression yours is. Because your form of expression of creativity is when you're interested in singing and dancing. You see people who dance and you can feel the life of what they
Yeah.
are dancing, right? So it's different expressions. So those expressions are where you need to learn the skill of that expression. But the creativity itself, it cannot be taught. It's a gift. That's what I believe.
So do you think that there's anyone who is not creative, who does not have that gift?
Gift of
Yeah.
creativity. I don't think anybody. Sometimes, for me now, working with some designers, you feel like this person is not creative.
Okay, okay,
Eh,
okay.
but it's not that they are not creative, it's just that
Maybe they've
their
not.
creativity has not learned how to express itself in an acceptable form. And I say what I mean. Now, being a designer, there are some people who come up with ideas and like, oh, this, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Like, okay, I can be designing. My younger cousin used to draw, doesn't know anything about design. He just tell me, okay, like there's way he would tell me that I don't turn this thing upside down, and I'll try it and turn because I don't, I don't say oh because it's short enough. So I'm trying to turn it upside down. Sometimes it looks good. I'm like, wow, this is cool. I say yes, and that is creativity. If I give him a laptop, he may design rubbish.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But it does not mean that he does not have that creativity gift
Yeah.
inside him. So most times people actually have, everybody has a gift, but they just haven't found how to
And they,
express it
they
well.
also have to get to that level where they are able to cultivate it.
Yes, cultivation. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that skill, the skill is because it's excellence that people reckon with, especially in this generation where there's a lot of people putting out things. Oh, you have to be so excellent.
Excellence. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just the determining factor, or the distinguishing factor.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Um. As a Christian,
Mm.
what is one key thought that you hold about leadership?
Mm. One key thought I hold about leadership is that there was this part of scripture where Jesus and his disciples were in doing this together now, and then Jesus was washing their feet.
Mm.
And then he said something. He said, "He will be the leader, must first be the servant." I think that's one thought I hold towards leadership. That he was first. Two things.
So,
One man of God, I will not mention his name, once said, "You don't serve before you turn boss."
I'm not
Me,
sure I'm familiar.
yes, don't worry. Some people will get
We
it.
will figure it out.
You
Okay.
just serve before you turn boss.
Yeah.
So I feel that's important. Learning that leadership comes from serving, not just in the context that you have to serve a boss
Mm.
before you become a boss, not
Mm.
just that, but also that you have to serve the people who are following you as a boss.
Even when you are a
Yes,
leader.
even when you're a leader. For instance, I run a very open system with the children I teach in church, right? Like as much as I'm their leader and they are very young, I still am accountable to them to some extent, right? I still listen to what they have to say, still try to serve them, yeah, in aspects. So I think it's very, very important.
When did you first realize that you were a creative person? At what point in life did it dawn on you that I think there is something called creativity here?
So I think when I first got to know that when I was a creative person was when the term creative people became a thing. When people started saying, oh, they are creatives, and that's when I realized, oh, this is a creative skill. Well, I was just doing it then because I knew I was doing it and so I was good at it. So yeah, I think that's when I realized that what I am doing right now is called creativity.
Creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was no
But if the question can also mean that when it did dawn on me that what I was doing was cool or was good or was something, yeah, that made sense. Yeah. I think from the onset is when I started doing those paper designs. Yeah, I think from that point.
Thank you. So recently I noticed that it feels like Christians are beginning to, you know, dominate the creative space
Yeah.
from storytelling. I mean, storytelling is done in different aspects, but
Mm.
from being a writer or writing, producing movies, designing, different aspects of creativity. What do you think has changed? Because I think like about 5 to 10 years from like before this time,
Mm.
it was not really like this. We were not really seeing Christians so rampant. I mean, now we have Christians who are rappers in the music industry
Mm-hmm.
who are rappers. They are doing so well. They
Mm.
are Christians that are following God. That are, I mean, they are Jesus lover. But about 5, 6 to 10 years ago, it was not like that. What do you think has changed?
So I think what has changed is that the church is now allowing people to express their creativity with the name of the church. So the thing is that back then, most of even these places that you're saying were not in the church, they were doing all these things. They are musicians, 90% of them were from church. Just that some of them had to leave the church space
To find
because people
expression.
yeah, to find expression because people felt something too out there was not Christian like, which was not actually correct because we are supposed to be light of the world and we're supposed to be on the hill and not hidden, right? So the issue was that the church was not really giving that kind of support to creatives, but now the church is understanding better and it's allowing us to still, with the church's name, understand that we are Christians, do these things. And I feel even Christians themselves have become more bold about their faith. Before people were always, they don't want to come out as Christians, so they don't look weird. But now people are bolder.
Especially actors and
Yes,
actresses.
especially our generation. We have older young
Yes.
Christians that they don't necessarily do church room to room evangelism, but that platform they have, they are not ashamed to say, oh, yeah, I'm a child of God and I'm doing this. It's not a church thing in quotes. I'm not putting on the pulpit, but this is my own light or this is my own expression and I'm going to express it as a child of God wherever I am. So I think we have more of that kind of people in our generation.
And now the mindset is shifting.
Yeah,
It's shifting. It's
yeah.
shifting.
But about creativity, the church has always been a place where creativity is always
But
no, not even necessarily. I'm not even talking about the boxing part. I'm talking
okay.
about where we discover talent a lot in church. It's in church we knew people who could sing.
The different departments.
Yes, it's in church we knew how to do memory verse. A lot of people don't compare children who had very good Sunday school experience to children who didn't have that experience. You see how much more intelligent those children are or have become because the church had a way of bringing out that expressive, just that they didn't want it to be out there. But now we're having a lot of out there people.
Imagine in all of those churches, especially those ones that have been not the
Yeah.
modern ones now.
Yeah.
Those ones that have been for
For
long.
long.
In children classes, they were taught musical instruments.
Yeah.
They were taught the alto, the
Yeah.
soprano,
Tenor.
the tenor, and they were
There
allowed
was a
to
lot
just
of
express.
education in the church. A
Yeah.
lot of education. A lot of education. That's why I don't know whether these people try this and notice people who children who grew up in church, whose parents were either pastors or active church workforce
Workers.
people or church members. You see how the way they are usually smarter.
They're just
It is
different.
rare for you to see a pastor's child that is like not smart academically or intellectually. Something is wrong. But usually, even in church, pastor children will be a little bit smarter than every other person's children to an extent. So I would say church has always been that place of helping people find their expression. It's just that the church doesn't let people go out there. So for you to not express, you don't have to rebel, leave the church,
Yeah, they call
this
you a
rebel, and for you
rebel.
now go. So that's what majorly really happens.
Yeah. So and then I think that even in modern churches now, children that are growing up, I think that they should, you know, find a space to allow them to cultivate
Mm-hmm,
their abilities. But by the time they grow up, they are able
mm-hmm.
to channel it in the most valuable ways.
I really sincerely hope that churches nowadays um, still find importance in raising the children. I really hope that's why I'm happy with what I promise to say this. I'm happy with what CCI does to their children, select kids. There's this attention that they give to children, especially because I can tell you that's the foundation. And once you have the children, trust me, you have the next generation. So yeah.
Was there a time that you ever felt overly overwhelmed? That was the repetition, but yeah, overly overwhelmed.
Yes.
Like the brim, you referred to the brim
Yeah.
by the volume of work and responsibilities you had.
Yes, a lot of times. The times I ghosted the project that they paid me for because I was still away, and
They
I
paid you
discovered
and you ghosted.
yes, because I discovered that I undercharged, and the work was now so much
Oh,
that I didn't know what to do. I think 2023 or 2024, I had an issue like that where I was working on a UI UX project.
mm,
Right, I took the project. I thought I'll have because I have UI UX designers like that are my friends before I started, and that was one major reason why I started having my own team of designers because of the whole overwhelming thing. So I had to do that whole project. It was so big, and I had undercharged. Of course, they had not paid me fully. What they paid was a deposit, right? And but I could not just do it. And I was like, I couldn't reach out to them because I was in a very bad place, right? So it was just like overwhelming for me. I didn't even know how to handle it then, right? But I was able to even eventually do the project. But the thing is that when I handled that project, despite that fact, right, it was now difficult for me to be easily overwhelmed by a project.
have you ever had seasons of doubt in yourself or in your abilities at any point? And how were you able to manage it if you had?
I think this is relatable to imposter syndrome, if I'm right, where you just feel like you're not good enough. I think, yeah, and but it was at different, should I say, different levels of my career, right? The most recent was when I decided to actively join social media to post my work. I wasn't a fan of posting my work. I just preferred posting myself and all that. But when I said, okay, let me even start posting my work, since posting my work is good, let me even see if the whole world believe in how good my work is. Only for me to open the streets of Twitter and see other crazy guys that are probably crazier in their own way. Like everybody has their own tough, their own niche, right? So people are crazy in their niche. Oh. When I open Twitter, so I just first close the app, right? 'Cause I wanted to post it on Twitter. Like when I even tried posting consecutively, like I did like a 30, 100 day challenge. At some point, I just gave up, right?
Well,
Yes, although I'm going back there now. My Instagram was the only one that was like at least picking up that had that, but see that Twitter. So just so yeah, sometimes you just feel like your skill is not enough and you have to. But I think it's also a drive to consistently improve, to consistently get better. They are not the same person as yesterday. I think that's just the drive it brings. So I don't think doubting yourself is all the time negative. You can channel that energy into positivity.
it can be
Yeah,
like
it
a
can be
moment to
a
challenge you.
motivation. Yeah, that you can get better. That this is the level you are right now is not all that there is. So that's just how I handle it. Yeah.
And so, what would you say to the persons who are um, trying to pick up, trying to, you know, make investments in different phases of their lives, and they're not just sure if this space is for them, this one is for them, this one is for. Have you ever been in? Okay, yeah. For instance, the way you got into Twitter, and then
Mm,
it was like, oh no, I don't think this space is for me.
mm,
Like me, I don't think TikTok is for me.
mm-hmm.
Instagram, I am very, very. Facebook, I feel like Facebook is quite is so outdated,
Yeah.
so I'm not even there.
Mm.
So there are persons that are right now trying to put out their work there, but they are in that space where they are now laid back because they are doubting if they will be accepted
Accepted, yeah.
in that space. What do you think they should do?
What I think they should do is just keep trying. Because even me, I'm still trying, right? I don't know what's going to happen, but I just have to keep trying. I have to still keep working on projects, and I still post. I don't even have. I've not even gotten a hang around what I should be posting right now. I still try a lot of things. I post. The funniest thing is I'm someone like me now. What gets the most attention on my page? Not even my design project too. Neither is it my video content of me talking. It's my normal pictures where I just post swag,
Because
and then
I find one
I see like 150
likes.
likes and comment. I'm like, let's share it. So I just think that we should just keep trying, right? At least you have people out there that have done it. For me, someone like me, I have a lot of friends who are doing well in that aspect. So it kind of encourages me now. Okay, I can do it. So that's what I'll just advise. Just keep trying, just like I'm also trying.
Trying. So do you think that um, every creative should get their hands on every social media account? Like
Mm.
have their personal, like to be on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube.
This is a tricky question, right?
Mm,
Because I feel like you should build your community somewhere first, and I'll explain why. I have a friend who I think is a top voice for LinkedIn. He's a very top guy when it comes to LinkedIn in Nigeria, and he had spent his years building his LinkedIn. He was not focused on his Instagram or anything. So by the time it came to Instagram, it was people that are on LinkedIn that knew were like, for his content was getting massive engagement, right? Because they already knew him somewhere, and he was able to focus all his energy at that time somewhere. So I think if you focus your energy, you have a lot of TikTokers who are now coming to Instagram after they have built a large following on TikTok. So I think the best thing is always to like push your content somewhere first. Then at
have a
some
focus.
point, yeah, at some point you can now spread. It can be two, maybe TikTok, Instagram. Then at some point you can now start doing all everything together. Right. So that's just how it is.
And I also think that in an attempt to try to do this, you can lose focus. You can um there can be this how should I put it now? Especially if you have not gained a proper community,
Mm,
the quality might not be that much, and then you yourself might get overly overwhelmed.
overwhelmed.
Yeah,
I feel you.
because now it's like you're trying to meet up with this, meet
Meet
up
up
with
with
this. Now
that.
you're trying to respond to, oh, how many likes do I have here?
Yeah.
What are the comments here? I need
Except
to
you're someone
respond
that
here.
doesn't really care about the likes. You're just doing it. And you just post. I just leave it, post, and just leave it. Right. I think if you have that ability, you can actually do all socials of your choice.
Yeah,
So it just depends on your person. For someone like me, I'll be bothered a little, so I just like focusing on my energy in one place.
that's one.
Yeah.
So what social media do you use
So
that you have a focus on right now?
right now, my focus is on Instagram right now.
Finally, what would you say to someone who is currently in school or even out of school, and then he or she wants to be in the creative industry and is still trying to find their way around the different aspects of creativity
Mm.
and having to create things? What would you say to them?
Yeah, I think the major thing I would say is first and most important thing is learn to be flexible. Learn to be very flexible because everything advances, not just not just the world, not just life, not just human beings, but also skills. So if you are even learning a particular creative skill, you have, for instance, right now we are having we're in the AI generation. There's a lot of artificial intelligence doing work for people. So you have to go and learn how to master those things, right? Because organizations are sacking people on a daily basis. Yes, because it's not that AI is replacing them per se, but people who have mastered AI can now use AI to do things that other people cannot. So you have to just let go of the person that is not doing something, or someone who has all the knowledge about AI, right? So it's important you always upskill, always learn to adapt, learn to be flexible. Very, very important. Very, very important. And then you also have to learn to manage, being a creative with being a student, right? You also have to learn to manage that. And you also have to understand that you have to be excellent at both. That's the most important thing. Being excellent at everything. It's possible to be excellent at everything you do. It's not easy. It's very difficult, but it is possible. That's what I'll say.
So, thank you very much for
Thank you very
coming.
much
And
for having me.
thank you so much for watching. Here is King David Babalola. Meanwhile, don't just call David. It's King David, please. David
Okay.
Babalola, thank you so
Please
much for
listen
coming.
to her. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. And it has been such a powerful and insightful conversation. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you learned a thing or two. And please don't forget to like, share,
And subscribe.
comment,
And
and
subscribe.
yes,
Subscribe.
subscribe. Thank you so much. Till we come your way again. This is the Blooming You podcast. Bye.